Take a look at that. This is nature, the universe, perfection. It doesn't get any better than this. I wouldn't paint this picture any different than this. Right now, I'm watching the sun rise over the ocean. Watching birds fly by. Listening to waves crash onto the shoreline. Breathing the fresh air from the trees behind me. Absorbing this wonderful sunshine being gifted to me. Staring at this amazing sun. Smiling at me. Talking to me, communicating with me. Energizing me. It's so beautiful. Let me set this up here. Right now, I am in a permanent location. I mean, nothing's permanent, but it's somewhat semi-permanent. It's what's going on now, and it's kind of long term. And as you just saw, like, where I am is where I live, and it's really beautiful. It's really incredible. And I brought this to be, I feel, through my mind, visualizing, hoping, wanting, wishing, manifesting. And I'll talk about what I mean by that in a moment. In this video, I plan to not really talk about anything new. I just want to kind of update you because I haven't made a video in a while. It's quite the gap right now. It's been a couple of months. And I want to let you know, like, what I've been doing, what I've been thinking about, and kind of consolidate the past ideas that I've been discussing with you over the past year. And also share my journey over the past year, because to me, life is a classroom. I view it all as a classroom. Every moment, every conversation, every experience, it's a classroom. And this past year has been no different. It's been quite the classroom. And I'm going to share with you what I've been studying, what I've been learning about. Now, let's get started here. Man, this is a blessing, staring at this clear, bright, intense, awesome sunshine. I'm energizing as I speak to you all. It's so wonderful. Birds talking to me. All right. Getting them too excited, but let's go here. Over the past year, I've been living in a city with a high population, a very population dense city, 10 million people. And for me, this is unusual. In my life, probably 4 years out of my entire life, I've spent living in a city like that dense. And what I can say definitively about that experience, those experiences, is that of most of those 4 years, I did not feel nourished. I was not, it broke me down. It took a lot away from me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I gained a lot, but like physically, and as far as my earthly body, it really broke me down. Now, The people are amazing. You get to just see all these beautiful, incredible people, the diversity, the experiences that you'll have. You really get the human experience living in a city. But there ain't nothing like nature's experience. I love to share the human experience with nature, the place where it should be experienced. And that can't be replaced. But I lived in the city for the past year to work, because I got an opportunity that I felt that I needed to take at that moment. I didn't need to let that pass me by at that time. So I took that opportunity, and I also wanted to have that experience. The experience of being in a city, being around lots of people, and do this people thing. The reason why we're here on earth. To be people and experience people and put ourselves in situations and play this game. Have these life experiences, share experiences with people, cross paths and never see people again, or cross paths and see people here and there, or cross paths and stay connected. It's all amazing. And I always wondered, like, do cities deplete you? Do they take from you? Do they just, are you really compromising yourself being in a city? Compromising your body, compromising your health, and aging yourself faster, and just things like this. I already knew the answer, but I wondered to what extent. And prior to moving to the city, if you've been following me, I took a spiritual trip where I immersed myself in nature, and I tried to learn some lessons just from nature in the tropics. And it got a little bit sidetracked. It got compromised, from myself. I lost focus, but I got a lot done. I learned a lot, and it was still pretty good. But one lesson I learned was that environments are really important. An environment is a cornerstone of existence. And when I say environment, a good environment, natural, nature, being close to mom, getting nourished every day, that type of thing. And immediately after I arrived in the city to work there and live, I made a video about, do electromagnetic fields still store sun from us? Something like that. And I'll drop the link in the description box below. And I kind of talked about one of the major hazards of living in a city, other than it being just extremely artificial. And that was a pretty good information. It wasn't super in depth, but it was enough to understand. So check that out if you get a chance, if you haven't already. And about 5 months after living in the city, I noticed really profound changes in my hair and my skin. And hair and skin are a gateway. When I say gateway, that's one of the main doorways to us absorbing energy. Our skin's a solar panel, and our hair is sensory. And that began to break down for me really quickly, just over 5 months. Like I was in the tropics, living my best life, as far as my physical body is concerned. And then I moved to the city 5 months. I'm seeing pretty profound changes really quickly. And this was an alarm for me. It was a red flag for me. And I already knew that, a city isn't the greatest place to be, to live. But I had to see for myself and really internalize the message and really understand for myself. And of course, we're all different, but that was my experience. So I began to kind of focus on the future. You know, I had a 1-year commitment where I was, so I decided to focus on the future and imagine and visualize and just kind of just pretty much absorb, vibrate, attract the ideal environment, ideal situation for myself. And shortly, like not that long ago, the whole COVID thing happened, and I had big plans for this year. 2020 was supposed to be really, really different from the way it has played out. But I had to change my plans. I couldn't do things that I had planned to do. Like the politics of COVID prevented a lot of things from going down the way that I was gonna have it to go down. But I never forgot about the power of visualization and my ability to manifest. The subconscious. And despite not being able to leave and go to the place where I imagined myself to be, I was still able to manifest really ideal conditions. And I thought I would not be able to do so. But I did, and I can't help but to think that I attracted it all. That there was no luck involved in that. I can't help but to think that. And I made a video about this type of thing a little bit over a year ago. It was something like Subconscious Seeds, Thoughts to Reality Experiment, where I did an experiment, a really simple experiment, where I used simply my mind to attract the type of destiny that I wanted. And I took you step by step and I showed you how relevant this is in a really simple way. And I'll leave it in the description below. Please check that out if you haven't already. And right now I'm in paradise, and I'll be in paradise for quite a while. It's somewhat permanent. I mean, nothing's permanent, but I'm gonna be here for a while, and I don't mind. And every morning, like now, I'm doing my ritual, just as I imagine myself to be able to do a ritual where I can regenerate myself, clear my mind, and focus. And just plant a really beautiful garden of serenity, knowledge, peace, understanding, make myself beautiful inside and out. And I feel that it'll lead to even bigger, better things later, whether it's here or someplace else, far away. Because I have other dreams too, and I think they will be fulfilled. We just need time. But I'm living the dream, always. The dream is here. We're all living the dream. We just have to see it that way. But every morning, I did a video in the past about natural bodies of water. And I'm in front of a natural body of water right now because I know the value of it. It's worth its weight in gold. Natural body of water. And I'm about to get in as soon as I finish this. But yeah, I'll drop the link below in the video that I made about natural bodies of water. It's a bit long, but it's well worth your time, I think. But I talked about how natural bodies of water, granted that they're clean, are very regenerative, restorative, and they really preserve you. And they're just really underappreciated parts of nature that, you know, if you have access to it, don't neglect it. Go be a part of it every chance you get. Get in. Or be next to it. Being next to it is okay too, but go get in. It's a magical thing. And I also talked about, probably in the beginning of this channel, I talked about using the cold. Another part of nature that's underappreciated. And this water is going to be really, really freezing cold when I get in, even though it's the middle of summer. But in the area where I am now, it's very cold, especially in the mornings. And I'm going to try to endure being in it, following my ritual all the way through to the winter. Because I realize how powerful that is. I've learned how powerful that is. Cold adaptation. And putting it together with a natural body of water. And I've made many videos about cold adaptation. And they didn't get the love that I think they deserve. And for obvious reasons. Because at first, it's really difficult, miserable. But once you get past that, you walk through a door of bliss. Life just gets so much better. And when I say life is inside of you. Not here. It's inside of you. And that place gets so much better. Like, I feel on top of the world when I put myself in ice cold water to start my day. Actually, anytime, but the start is the best time. And I go in depth and explain why, and even give you some tips on how to make a really healthy, normal, nice transition if you are considering it, and kind of tell you about it, what to expect. So I'll leave some links below if you want to check those out. And I'll wrap the video up by, I guess, talking about some spiritual stuff. You know, some astrology, the universe, the cosmos, the sky. Well, for myself, I'll just talk about the 12th house. You know, we have, in astrology, we have 12 houses. And each house is a part of your life. We have a life cycle. We have like 12 major themes that we have to learn in life. And it's not really 12 themes, but it's 12 sections. And each section carries certain themes and certain lessons that they all tie to the next. The first ties to the second ties to the third, the fourth, the fifth, all the way to the 12th. And right now, I'm a Pisces, and I have my guiding planet, Jupiter. You know, each sign has its own guiding planet or guiding planets, and mine is Jupiter. And Jupiter goes into each house about every 13 months. So for me, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's the planet of wisdom, faith, life lessons. And for me, about every 13 months, I experience big changes in my life. Actually, my circumstances change. The circumstances change, and I react to the circumstances. And for me right now, Jupiter is in my 12th house. It's in Capricorn. Capricorn's in my 12th house. And I always wondered, what exactly is the 12th house? Like, I've been studying and learning about astrology for the past 3 years. It was a really big awakening when I discovered it. And it really gave me some answers to some of life's deep questions. You know, I'm all about that. I love learning about life's deep questions. And now that I have Jupiter, my planet of knowledge, the planet of knowledge, faith, wisdom, abundance, I now kind of know what the 12th house is based on this experience that I've had. And, you know, of course, it'll be different for everyone, but my experience with the 12th house, it's like a area of consolidation. It's the last house. It's the area of consolidation. It's to condense and help you internalize all of the lessons that you've learned, good and bad. And often, or in my experience, my experience now, it puts you in a situation where you're isolated, you're secluded. You know, the 12th house is associated with the sign of Pisces. And another association to the 12th house is prisons, mental institutions, hospitals, places of deep retrospection, looking inside of yourself. And usually to look inside, you have to be by yourself, whether that be mentally or just your environment. But I've experienced that during this time. Like, even while I was living in the city a month or so ago, I was in isolation. I was secluded. I was secluded not by the fact that there were no people around me, because there were many people around me, but I was secluded by my situation, by the situation created by my work environment, my work life. I had to really focus and just focus on things and not really indulge in the community like I maybe wanted to, or maybe I didn't really indulge in the community that much. I didn't really socialize as much as I thought I would in such a social atmosphere. And it was just the circumstances that were created that prevented me from doing so. But what I did gain from that experience was that I learned a lot of things. I was able to really it made me want to focus and learn some different things, some new things about life. Like, for example, I focused on learning a foreign language because I had resources. You know, being in a city, you have just lots of resources to be able to do things like that. Schools and just things like this. And for me, learning a foreign language is not so much to be able to communicate with the foreign people, but I look at it from a bigger standpoint, in that it shows me how to reach everyone, anyone on their level. That's one thing I want to be able to do. Reach everyone on their level and bring us to all a mutual understanding. And right now, Jupiter's still in the 12th house for me. And of course, I'm here. I'm in a rural area. It's about 60,000 people population here. And the area where I'm in right now, it's even less densely populated than the rest of the city. So this is definitely a 12th house place here. And although I'm in isolation, I'm in heaven. And this is a really incredible, amazing experience, and I really appreciate it, and I'm happy for it. And yeah, I'm in a place of consolidation, and subconsciously and in my dreams lately, I've been just kind of having flashbacks about the past decade, all the lessons that I've been learning as Jupiter has been transiting through these houses. It takes about 12 years. It's about a 12 or 13 year process for Jupiter to make an entire revolution around the sun and go through all of the houses. But yeah, I've been in deep reflection mode for this whole 12th house experience. So I learned what the 12th house is through my own life experiences. So let me wrap this up. What I plan to do, the direction I plan to take this channel is I want to focus more on what reality is. Whether it be scientific reality, spiritual reality, or the reality that we experience in our collective consciousness. And why am I gonna learn and talk about these types of things? Because I feel that in order for us to get the most out of this experience, this human experience, we need to understand exactly what the hell this is. I guess in a way, if I had to compare it to a movie, a really common cliche movie I could compare it to is The Matrix. I want to understand in order to fulfill my potential and help us all fulfill our potentials so we can know where we're going. Because to me, you know, we're all on this earth, and I'm gonna make another movie comparison. We're all on this earth, and this earth is a spaceship. We're traveling around the sun. We're all together, and we are all one crew. And we have the same destination, and we need to respect and love one another equally in a really deep way, deep special way. Every crew member should feel special and appreciated. So yeah, I'm gonna go really deep into these types of things, and I hope to see you there. I hope to hear from you. I want to grow with you, and I'll see you in the future. Take care, everyone. I love you. I'm gone.